Very good morning, everybody. In today's class, let's learn about Louis Pasteur, the conqueror of disease. Hope you people have written the activity which is done in your last class. Who, in your opinion, is the greatest scientist? Now, let's get into the lesson. On the field of battle, in one of his campaigns, Napoleon decorated for bravery a certain tanner named Pasteur. His brave soldier had an equally brave son, Louis Pasteur, born 7 years after Waterloo. He was not a soldier, but he was a fighter. In this para, Napoleon is a great warrior. In the Battle of Napoleon team, he had a tanner. Tanner is a person who you can just see the glossary. Tanner is a person who makes animal skin into leather. So his name was Pasteur. He was a brave soldier. His son, Pasteur's son, is called as Louis Pasteur. He was born after 7 years of Waterloo. Waterloo is nothing but a war. How in India we call First World War, Second World War, same like that. It is Waterloo is a name of a war. He fought disease. He devoted his life to the study of what we sometimes call germs, which men of science call bacteria, a Greek word meaning little rods. Bacteria are vegetable organisms like rod-shaped plants which exist in the air, water, and soil, and in the bodies of animals and plants. Some, but not all, are the causes of disease. Some convert matter into food for plants. Here, Louis Pasteur is called as a fighter because he has found the vaccine for so many diseases. He he has just sacrificed his life to something called as germs. Germs is nothing called as bacteria. Bacteria is known in a Greek word meaning little rods. Little rods. It is like small pieces of rods. In bacteria are the vegetable organisms which exist in air, water, soil, animals, plants. You can see bacteria everywhere, but all bacteria are not the negative ones. You have a positive side of the bacteria also where they convert food for plants and animals. Louis Pasteur had a very busy and interesting life. He not only made some exciting discoveries about germs, but he was able to use his discoveries in very practical ways. He not only went into discovery, but he also scheduled that into his practical life. He worked hard in his laboratory with test tubes and all kinds of experiments. But nearly all the time he was working to help people who were suffering in some special way of disease. Among the people whom Pasteur was able to help were brewers, breeders of silkworms, and cowkeepers, all of whom were trying to carry on important industries in France. Pasteur was always very proud of being able to help his country in this way. So he not only spent his time in inventing things, but he also helped in scheduling it for the people, like where bacteria are used in many industries, where like brewers. Brewers are like people who do beers and alcohol thing, and breeders of silkworm and like who weaves silkworms. There you need You need germs to be converted, bacteria to be converted. And cow keepers, even cow keepers also use some bacteria like milk for pasteurization and all those. And where those important industries were in France. Louis Pasteur, born in a little French country town, was interested in chemistry. When he was very young, after studying hard in Paris and showing great promise, he began to teach and lecture as professor of chemistry. He became a professor at Strasbourg in Alsace, and he married a wife who was always to be his closest companion and assistant. So Louis Pasteur was born in French town, and he was acting as a lecturer and started to teach in chemistry. He was a professor at Strasbourg, and he married his wife who was his close assistant. Pasteur was deeply interested Pasteur was deeply interested in all the new experiments that were being made in chemistry and decided to solve some of the difficult problems that were worrying about chemists and other scientists. Sometimes he used to sit for hours quite silent and motionless, thinking hard about one of his difficulties. He found this the easiest way to solve a problem, and when he thought of a solution, his kind, tried looking face would brighten with pleasure and excitement, and he would rush round to tell his discovery to his wife and to others who were helping him. So, whenever he is in very deep thinking, he used to sit isolated and think about how to develop those things and think about many ideas. And once when he get ideas, he rushes and goes tells people and his wife about his ideas. In 1854, Pasteur was appointed as head of a college of science at Lille, a busy manufacturing town in the northeast of France. He was pleased about this because he always felt that trades and industries could be helped very much by the researches of men of science. His chance to be useful soon came. So he was appointed as a head college of science in Lille, which that is a big industrial, that is a very big industry town, manufacturing town. Manufacturing town. So he felt that his research would be very useful to that place. Pasteur, as a young chemist, had always been interested in the problems of why and how living things decay, why milk turns sour, and why meat goes bad, why wine ferments. He started to give some lectures in Lille on fermentation. One of the chief industries in Lille was the manufacture of alcohol from beetroot, and he was fortunate in being able to carry out experiments in some of the breweries. So there he had now he had many things to prove, like why milk turns into curd, like sour, and why meat goes bad, why wine ferments, and all those. One manufacturer consulted Pasteur about his beer, which was turning so badly, and Pasteur, by helping his brew, managed to discover all sorts of things that he did not know before about yeast. Yeast, what is yeast? Do you people know yeast? Yeast is used to make some bread, cakes, and all those. That is called for the fermentation. You know this idli dosa batter, like when you mix something, this baking soda, when you mix something and keep it out for fermentation, after 8 hours you see something as puffed out. So that is called fermentation. Yeast is used to make beer foam and bread rise up lightly. Pasteur became certain that yeast was alive, made up of tiny living cells. So yeast is made up of tiny living cells called as microorganisms. When these cells were healthy, the yeast acted well. But if they were diseased, the yeast and the beer went wrong. Now, a beer company used to think like why it is getting spoilt. So what is the reason behind it? So over there, he found out that yeast is made up of small living organisms. If those cells are alive, if those cells are good enough, so the beer wouldn't have spoiled. If those cells have went wrong, the beers will spoil. After a few years, Pasteur was made director of scientific studies at a famous college in Paris. He was still thinking about decay and yeast and germs. Now, three things have come into mind. Why it's getting spoiled and what is yeast? Because yeast has small organisms in that, and germs. Regarding germs was his first research. And later, once when he started finding about germinations, these two had come in his way. And one of the problems that he was trying to answer was this: do germs form from other germs, or do they just come of themselves? People like Pasteur believed that germs were carried in the air and might infect other things that came in contact with them. Others believed in what they called spontaneous generation. That is, they believed that germs had no parents but just occurred by themselves. So he had a research like germs are like how it is like a parenting, like whether it is a transformation of one. It is like one germ dividing into two and those two dividing into four. Is that or like that, or it is by default? Pasteur proved that he was right by a very simple and clever experiment. He put some soup into some bottles and then he boiled it in order to destroy any germs that might already be in the soup. After that, he heated and pulled out the neck of each bottle until it formed a long, narrow neck with a big bend in the middle. The soup remained there for a long time, and it never went bad as it would have done it had been standing in a bowl in the kitchen. I'll show this figure in a separate thing. It is like how he has proved that like when a bacteria is being heated, bacteria dies. If it's not heated, so it remains. The soup remained for a long time and it never went bad as it would have been standing in a bowl in the kitchen. Said that Pasteur is because there are no parent germs in the soup and they cannot reach it because of the bend in the long tube. So he took one of the bottles and split a little of the soup down the tube so that it settled in the bend. This soup went bad. When often speak of dust traps. Well, this bend in the tube was a dust trap. Because the dust, which as we now know may carry germs with it, could get as far as the bend but no farther, and it settled there and infected the soup. This para, ninth para, I will give you a figure itself. Okay. This is only one of many hundreds of experiments which Pasteur made to show how full the air is of dust particles and how germs may be carried by this dust. One very useful experiment was made to show the difference between pure and stale air. Now the other experiment, he has come to show that air is impurity. Pasteur again filled some bottles with soup. He took some into a little hotel bedroom where the air hardly never changed, broke their necks off so that the air could enter freely, and after a few minutes sealed them up again. He then took some bottles into a field nearby and did the same with them. Finally, he opened some on the top of a high mountain and again sealed them up. What was the result? When they were examined, the bottles opened in the hotel bedroom were full of soup which had gone completely moldy. The bottles opened in the field were moldy but not quite so bad. Those opened on the mountain had no germs in them at all. Nowadays, we pay a great deal of attention to pure air, open windows to freedom from dust to garden cities. Pasteur was one of the first to show how necessary all these are if we are to fight against germs and disease. So he is showing us that how important that we have to fight against the germs and disease. These things are it is not visible to us. Another very useful discovery of Pasteur while he was working in Paris was the process which now we call after him as pasteurization. Some French wine growers were troubled by a germ which had turned their wine sour. Pasteur showed that he heated the wine or milk or whatever it might be to a temperature of 50 or 60 degree centigrade. The germs that were made harmless. Pasteurized milk is milk which has been treated in this way and then sealed to prevent more germs from entering. As what you know, pasteurization milk is what we get with the packets, right? Milk is what directly we get from a cow, and those milk directly cow's milk is being pasteurized into factories, packed in a packet, and it's given to us where you can save it for 1 or 2 days. So that is called pasteurization. So about these things, I will just give you a figure of that so that you will understand much more very clear. So the remaining chapter, we will go to the next class. It will be continued in the next class. I want you people to read this lesson and pronounce it properly so that in next class, I will be asking you some questions. Okay? Bye.